Yes, Celebration Day. Let's go.
Face is cracked from smiling, all the fears that she's been hiding. And it seems that pretty soon everybody's gonna know. And her voice is soaring, shouting, cheering when it's we're losing. And she wonders if the days are few and soon they'll have to go. I'm so happy. I'm gonna join the band. We're gonna dance and sing a celebration. We're in the promised land. She gives us all the new ways to protect the home she lives in. Then she wonders what it's all about when they break down the door. My name is brown or white or black, you know her very well. You hear her cries of mercy as the winners toll the bell. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna join the band. We're gonna sing a dancing celebration with the promised land. Train to leave the station, heading for your destination. But the price you pay to nowhere has increased $1 more. Yes, it has. And if you walk, you're gonna get there. But no, it takes you a little longer. And when you see it in the distance, it will read your hands and more.
Okay, guys, so that was the third song, Celebration Day. Guys, right off the bat, the energy on the song Celebration Day just grabs you as a listener. I love the fact that it opens with this smooth transition, from the previous song, Friends, connected by a move to the title drone. Fun fact, I mean, that intro, only exists because the original drum track, got erased by accident. Yes, but instead of re-recording, they rolled with it, and that mistake, actually made the song flow beautifully into place. If you ask me, once the song, kicks in, it's pure Led Zeppelin. Jimmy Page, his guitar, has that sharp, funky tone, that almost, flirts, with, early, hard rock and, proto funk. There is no time wasted here. I love the fact that he drives forward like a, freight train, just like producer, Rick Rubin, once said. John Paul Jones, bass lines, are, busy yet, melodic, filling all the, the spaces, without overpowering. And of course, John Bonham's drumming, man, he plays with so much swagger and groove. I have to say, those snare hits, those fills, they hit like thunder, but still groove like jazz. What's so cool about this track, is how tight, it feels. It's not a long jam. I love the fact that it's punchy and Agent. Led Zeppelin, often stretched out, songs live, but here, I mean, they packed all their firepower, into 3.5 minutes, of controlled chaos. I loved it, guys. Now, for the vocals, Robert Plant, his vocals here, to me are youthful. Sounded raw and full of attitude. He's got that mix of bluesy confidence, and urban edge. The song was actually inspired by his impressions of New York City. Which explains the pace and vibe. It feels like walking through a city that never sleeps. So lyrically, Celebration Day to me isn't a straightforward happy anthem. Despite its title, certain lines in there, her face is cracks from smiling. All the fears that she's been hiding. I feel like that line shows a kind of a bittersweet sort of celebration. Joy mixed with tension, triumph mixed with exhaustion. I mean, it's a city song, but it's also about people, their struggles, their hope, their chaos. That's something Led Zeppelin, I feel like they did so well, blending the personal, with the mythic. Robert Plant, delivered every single line, with so much conviction. Like, he's painting the skyline, with his voice. Bright lights, fast life, and that, sense of celebration doesn't always mean peace. I don't know if that makes sense. Yes, that's just what I think about this song. Maybe you guys can also let me know what you think this song is all about down the comment section. But to me, what I love most about this song, is how underrated it is. It's the perfect example of Led Zeppelin, evolving, moving away from their pure blues roots, into something funkier, something more experimental and something more urban. This is the sound of a band, broadening, horizons in 1970, right as rock was starting to shift into new territory. And the title Celebration Day, has slipped on. It became the name of their 2012, live reunion album and concert film, from the O2 Arena. And that's, fitting, because, I mean, this song always, carried in that spirit of renewal and energy. So, I mean, in my honest take, Celebration Day, might not be the Led Zeppelin song, everyone, talks about, but to me, it's one that true fans really really cherish. It's fast, it's funky, definitely fearless. A snapshot of a band at their creative peak. Still experimenting. Still surprising. So yeah, if you're diving into Led Zeppelin, this album, the third, don't skip this one. It's a short but wild ride, and that's I feel like it captures exactly why Led Zeppelin could turn even a single rock song into something transcendent. Yes, that's just me and my thoughts, about this song. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, down in the comment section. What do you think about Celebration Day? Does it, deserve more love, in a Led Zeppelin catalog? Drop your thoughts, down the comment section.